Hello everyone. So I'm back as promised with a video on spiritual awakening. So today is Monday night and I'm creating the video on 31st of May actually. So it's going to be 31st of May once I complete this video. So as I discussed with you in my past readings about karmics versus soulmates versus twin flames, that how these connections work, what these connections are, and the base of all these connections is spiritual awakening. So we have discussed a couple of things about spiritual awakening. I always told you guys that we will definitely be discussing in another video altogether what spiritual awakening is. So spiritual awakening is a concept which has happened or is happening in this world from 2019 to 2024. It's a time that people are getting spiritually awakened. People are more aware of what spirituality is, and especially because of the COVID times from last 3 years, we have been in our houses, lockdowns and all those stuff. So it has brought a spirituality in each one of us in one way or the other. So now coming to the spiritual awakening part. So what exactly the spiritual awakening is and how we will come to know that we are under a spiritual awakening process. So basically spiritual awakening is, in very simple terms, when you become aware of some deeper meaning in your life. So this is a feeling actually. It's very difficult to explain in words, but I will try to make it as simple as possible to understand what spiritual awakening feels like. So because many of us have been going through a spiritual awakening process, or many of us have been going through this, but we don't know what exactly it is and how to work on this. So definitely it's for those who are going through spiritual awakening process, who want to know more about it, and definitely it's for those who are interested to know about it because in future they might go into a spiritual awakening process, or just for a curious, just to know what exactly it is. So spiritual awakening process brings us a deeper meaning in life. Now what do you mean by that? I mean to say, if I come to my personal experience, how spiritual awakening feels is like, okay, first of all, let me tell you this, that I am also going through a spiritual awakening process. Now this process is very deep. It takes years and years and months to complete, so there is no finish line to this. There are lots of stages which we need to go through, and so how the spiritual awakening starts and how I came to know about the spiritual awakening, that I am going through a process. So basically spiritual awakening happens because of some sudden events in the life. So usually spiritual awakening happens because of some dreams, some lucid dreaming, or some sort of dreams in our lifetime, in this lifetime that we see. It might happen due to some life threatening, or to the death point when we go and return from that, be it because of any medical issues, or be it because of some car accident, or because of some sort of accident, some sort of trauma, some sort of medical issues in our life that we go through, and we just come back from a death point alive, and that suddenly awakes or suddenly gives us a jolt, and we get into this spiritual awakening process. So when we usually get into this process, we don't know that what it is, and we are going some sort of spiritual awakening process. So if I talk about myself specifically, I still actually don't know that what's the exact reason of my spiritual awakening. But as far as I remember, I went through 3 different major events in my life from 2019 to 2000, not 2019, in fact 2018 to 2021. So these 3 major events of my life have moved me to a spiritual awakening process basically. So spiritual awakening process occurs because of some major events in our life. So I can just give a random guess. So one event I can say that I clearly remember it was 2018 and I went through a dream. And yes, that dream, I can't discuss much on that dream, but I must say that it was a very, very close to death kind of an experience, which I saw in my dream. And that was the first event that happened in my life in 2018, which I don't understand till now, like what happened and what was that. Then 2019 there was one event that happened, and again, so there are three events which in total gave me a jolt in my life, which I felt that yes, that might be a reason of my spiritual awakening. So I'm yet not sure. I'm still struggling to find out what can be the exact reason. But whatever the reason is, I'm loving this journey, and I'm going through this journey successfully and I'm sailing through it. Uh, so I don't want anybody who is going through this journey to face any sort of issues, because this journey is not easy. It's very, very tough to understand, very, very tough to sail through. There are a lot of online stuff which is available on spiritual awakening which can help you, but it's very difficult to get to an exact video or exact material or knowledge that you want. So I tried to jot down some points on this which can help you in your spiritual awakening process. So basically, when we talk about spiritual awakening, there must be something which is more than this. Like, that's what you feel always. It's a feeling, as I told you. It's very difficult to explain in words, and that's why it's very difficult for me to make these kind of videos also. But I'm still trying to explain it in simplest form, that there must be something more than this. That's what we feel. So when any event which is, it can be a car accident, I'm just randomly giving you an example. It can be car accident, can be any close to death experience. You have a life threatening disease and you just came back out of that disease, or some sort of event, sort of dream that happened in your life, and you sudden get an awakening or a jolt that okay, no, I need to be more spiritual. There might be something more in my life that I need to do here. So I don't belong to this place. All these feelings comes with spiritual awakening. So at any point of time you feel that something major happened in your life, and that took you to a place where you feel that there is something deeper meaning in your life. You are not here to do or live a simple 3D life. You're here to do something more. There is something more to your life. That feeling, once you start getting, that's what the spiritual awakening is all about. That's how the best I can describe it. So basically, it connects you to divine, it connects you to oneness, it connects you to, suddenly what happens when you go through a spiritual awakening, as per my experience, what I felt is, when I went through spiritual awakening, I was not aware of what it was. I was just feeling that I'm out of place, I don't belong here. I used to feel that yes, there is something more I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to do here a normal job 9 to 5. I'm here something to do more. I'm more to this world. Some feeling which is very strange feeling, I can't explain. And suddenly I got guided, because I'm kind of a person. I'm still the kind of person who never used to watch YouTube videos and get into the online readings or spiritual teachers or that kind of stuff. But suddenly in 2019 January, I was just scrolling down through YouTube and I went through a lady who was a tarot reader, and she was reading about the COVID that was about to happen and the situation. She was actually predicting a pandemic which is going to create a lot of trauma in the world and all those stuff. So I was just going through the videos and I just saw her video, and it sounded interesting to me, so I just saw that video. And that day I started watching tarot readings, and I don't know how scrolling that video connected me to slowly the spiritual teachers who were teaching about. Because when I started, I found it very interesting, and I started digging deep into it. Okay, I want to know more. I want to know how tarot cards work, what kind of traumas, what kind of cycles we have, karmic cycles. All these things have been part of tarot readings. So I always try to dig deeper into it. I don't know what curiosity made me to do that at that point of time. So in 2019 I clearly remember January, I started watching tarot readings, and then from tarot readings, I started moving to spiritual teachers and started moving to the videos which can guide me through all this. So, this is my personal experience. So, initially, when I started going through the spiritual teacher videos and all those stuff, so I felt, what is this? I'm unable to understand, like, what's going on. But slowly, I don't know how, I out of curiosity, I started watching those videos and I started relating myself to it, and I found them very, very useful. And slowly I start connecting with those spiritual teachers or spiritual healers or whatever they were saying. So it was not any particular healer or any particular spiritual teacher who was teaching, because I'm a person who is a very strong God believer. I believe in my God, I believe in divine. I'm a very strong God believer, and I usually don't believe in spiritual teachers and lectures and all those stuff. I have never been to this kind of stuff before, but at that time, it gave me, I don't know, a push. It gave me a yes, it gave me a drive to go into out of curiosity and see what exactly it is. So basically, this is my experience. So because of these three events which happened in my life, which I feel can be the reason of my spiritual awakening, I yet don't know what is the exact reason. I was pushed into spiritual awakening by divine. When I was pushed, I was not aware of this. And I think my spiritual awakening started later. I started watching the videos way before that. I started watching videos in January 2019, starting with a tarot reading. And then I slowly moved to spiritual topics like karmic cycles and twin flames, karmic, soulmates, how does the cycles work, how does the, what is shadow work, what is all these things. Out of curiosity, I was watching. I don't know why I was watching, and I never watched in my whole life these kind of videos. And then slowly, after 6 to 7 or 8 months, I found myself into a place where I felt, okay, this is not what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a job, yeah, I'm having a family, I'm everything, but yes, I have something else to do. I'm here for something else. And yes, there is some deeper things which I have not explored in myself. So this was a very random and very rare feeling which happened in my subconscious. So I was not able to understand what's happening to me, and I was confused, like why I'm feeling like this. But yes, this happened. So basically, spiritual awakening always connects you to divine, which I was already connected to. It always connects you to oneness, and you get to understand more spiritual terms. Suddenly you start understanding everything. You start relating to everything what these spiritual teachers are talking about, and you feel that you relate to these videos, you relate to this stuff what you're watching. So this is my background, my experience. So basically, spiritual awakening, I must say that it's a process where it brings you face to face with your divinity. So if you say that you are a very spiritual person, so it brings that, it makes you stand in front of your divinity. Okay, you follow divine, you have to face divine now. So that kind of a feeling spiritual awakening is. I'm not too sure how simply I can explain this, but yes, this is my experience. So you have to face your divinity. You always say you are very spiritual. We follow one God, we go to temples and all that stuff. But spiritual awakening makes you stand in front of the divinity that you follow. So face to face, when you come to the divinity, the intensity of light is so strong. The intensity of light is so strong, of that divine power. When you stand face to face in front of it, it makes you shed all your lies, all your childhood traumas, all your prior judgments, all your emotional baggages. So basically, it brings you face to face with all the shadow side and shadow aspects of you which you never have ever felt that you have, or even if in your subconscious you felt, you never ever have thought of facing these kind of shadow side of yours. So basically, facing the divinity means that you are facing a divine power. You're standing in front of it, and that divine power has so much of light that I'm not talking about anything which is in physical form. So I'm just metaphor. It's just a metaphor I'm using, that standing in front of the divine light. So I mean to say that the light of the power of this spiritual awakening is so strong. The light is so strong that we have to shed all those lies which we have kept inside us, all those childhood traumas, all those emotional baggages that we have been carrying. In fact, the emotional baggages that we have been carrying from this lifetime, and the intensity is so strong for spiritual awakening that this emotional baggages that you have been carrying from past lifetimes, your soul has to shed those emotional baggages as well. So eventually it starts bringing you to a fact that everything is oneness. You all are one. The universe, you are a part of the universe. Your energy affects the universe. All these things slowly you will start to understand. Then, as I told you, we come face to face with our shadow side also. So basically what we do is we come face to face, we see what sort of, we all have a shadow side. So shadow side doesn't mean that we are bad. Again, I will highlight, shadow side doesn't mean that you are bad or I am bad. Everybody has a shadow side, everybody has a good side and a bad side. So basically, we usually in our lifetime, we reject our shadow sides. Suppose, just an example, if somebody is having a lot of ego, somebody is having a lot of attitude, somebody is having a lot of traumas which they don't want to see in themselves. They don't want to acknowledge that they have a lot of ego. They don't want to acknowledge that they have a lot of attitude. They don't want to acknowledge in their lifetime that they have a lot of traumas which they have went through in their childhood or something like that. So what spiritual awakening does is, it helps you to work on that shadow side and help you to accept that. So basically it brings everything to the surface to work on that. So it brings you into union with yourself. And because you start working on your shadow side, you start working on yourself, this union of you with yourself, your soul with yourself, brings you immense joy and immense light. So now, coming to the challenges part, what sort of challenges we face. So there are different spiritual awakening processes or different types of spiritual awakening that happen with different people. Now coming to the healers, light workers, and those who have come into this universe, on this planet, to have some sort of mission, to complete some sort of mission that has been sent by divine to help people out here, like light workers, like healers, those who heal to their spiritual lectures or something like that. They have more tough spiritual journeys and spiritual lessons. And why they have the spiritual journey tough and spiritual lessons tough? Because they have to learn those lessons in a tough way so that they can teach it to the world. They can help the world to be a better place. Now, just to make them a better teacher, that's what I must say. They go through a very tough spiritual awakening process. They go through a very tough kind of a spiritual lesson, that I must say. So basically, what I'm telling you here is, I'm not telling you any theories which have been written. I'm just telling you here my own personal experience. So whatever I'm teaching here, or what I'm trying to tell here, or what I'm trying to explain it to everyone here, is out of experience. It's not out of any kind of theories which I have learned from the books or YouTube. Yes, YouTube has helped me, videos have helped me to understand where I'm standing at in this journey and what this journey is all about, because it's very confusing, it's very traumatic. It's like you feel that you're drowning, you're sinking, all those kind of feelings you get. So how to come out of this, how to work on this, and it's very difficult to share this journey or to make other people understand what you're going through, because nobody else apart from you can understand this, because you are going through that journey. So this is again a additional pro tip, that if you try to make your friends understand this, if you try to make your close friends understand this, your parents understand this, your husband or children, you make them understand, okay, I'm going through a spiritual awakening, they'll say, what is that? Why suddenly you are talking about spirituality too much? You have always been so spiritual, but what suddenly happened? So this is a topic which only those people can understand who are going through a spiritual awakening, or who understand what I'm talking about. And if somebody is not understanding the terms that I'm using, this video is not meant for you. Maybe in future, I don't know. But yes, this video I'm making only for those who are going through a spiritual awakening process, who are going through some sort of symptoms which they don't know if this is a spiritual awakening. And a lot of people are going through spiritual awakening between 2019 to 2024. So just be aware, just be conscious. If you're going through a spiritual awakening process, you will definitely need help. And you need your soul path, you need your soul partners to understand, who are going through the same journey, to help you out to sail through, because it's not an easy journey and it's very difficult for you to sail it alone. Now, coming to the point, again, I'm just sharing as per what I have experienced, and everybody, same like a twin flame journey, spiritual awakening journey is also different with different people. So we can't expect to have same journey for everyone. So everybody has a different spiritual journey. Okay, now the spiritual journey comes in different order with everyone. Suppose my spiritual journey has different stages, and the order of the stages are different, the timelines are different, and the time frames are different, and stages can be sometimes 2 stages we can go at one time. So it's not necessary what I'm going through in spiritual awakening, you are also going through the same process. If I'm taking in one stage 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, you will also take 2 years. No, everybody has a different time frame, everybody has a different timeline of going through that journey. And that journey, that depends on your own individual spiritual journey, because there are multiple factors that affect spiritual journey, which we'll be discussing in another video, not in this video. So this video is all about what is spiritual awakening, which I already told you. Challenges that we face in spiritual awakening, which I already told you that we face a lot of challenges. There are a lot of especially the light workers and especially the healers who face a lot of issues and lots of it's a very tough spiritual journey for them, spiritual awakening journey for them. And then we will be discussing now about the stages. Okay, so just to give you a brief, what spiritual awakening as of now we learned is, spiritual awakening is where we feel that there is something deeper meaning in our life. We are here to do something more. We don't belong to this place. All these feelings come, which I can easily explain in what I feel and what I felt, that I'm here to do something more. Apart from what I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, I have a deeper meaning of my life. I want to do something for people. I want to devote myself into something. I want to bring light to the world. So all these feelings come suddenly when you enter into a spiritual awakening process. Now this is spiritual awakening, when you face to face come into light, and you shed all your lies, all your attitude, all your ego, all your emotional baggages, everything from past lifetimes and this lifetime. So your soul is working on it. That's spiritual awakening. Now, as I told you, that spiritual awakening happens because of 2-3 reasons. It can be because of a dream, a sudden dream, and you suddenly feel that you feel that you are awakened. You were sleeping until now you are awakened. Now you want to do something in your life. And or it can be because of some major accident or trauma in your life, or it can be because of some major life-threatening disease that you have gone through, and or some major point in your life where you return from nearly to death experience. So these all can be the reasons of spiritual awakening, sudden spiritual awakening. Now moving to the stages of spiritual awakening, as I told you, stages may differ. Some people go into 2 stages at one time. The time frames are different, the timelines are different. Now, in a very simplest way, there are 6 stages of twin flame journey. I will be making more videos to explain each and every stage more in a detailed way, and I will be making multiple videos of more signs on spiritual awakening, more detailed description on everything which I am talking about. This is just an introduction video on spiritual awakening, a basic info about, in simplest term, what spiritual awakening means. Now, coming to stage 1. So stage 1 of spiritual awakening is wake up. So it's a wake up call, we say. So what is wake up? Now, how we explain wake up? suddenly a switch gets on. So divine switch, divine, that's what I say. Sometimes divine switches you on and say, okay, you have to wake up now, you're sleeping from long, it's time for you to work on yourself, it's time to get into a spiritual awakening. So you always get pushed by divine to get into spiritual awakening. Nobody can stop this process, nobody can help you out with this process. Sorry, help you out, yes, videos can help you out, but nobody, I mean to say, who is not going through this process, I think barely understand what you're going through. So it's very difficult now. So don't try to explain also, because I think it's better to take guidance of those who are already going through this process. So basically there are two ways that wake up starts usually in a general scenario. First is chaos and second is spontaneous. So as I told you, chaos means any sort of trauma, any sort of life threatening, any sort of nearly to death experience where you feel something big has happened in your life, maybe it pain or trauma or anything, and your life you feel it start falling apart. You feel your ego is completely losing grip on you, either be an accident or be anything, it can be a broken relationship also. So usually it has to be big, something big in your life that happened, that has actually shaken you up from your roots, and it's a big jolt for you. So usually this kind of chaos where you feel that your mind is losing control, your ego is completely losing control or grip on you, your life is falling apart, everything is falling apart, be it an accident, be it a car accident, be it a life-threatening disease, anything. Sorry to repeat, but yes, I just want to make you understand, to make it more clear that don't think anything else or don't mix anything else with spiritual awakening. So because of some sort of chaos in your life, this kind of big chaos in your life, spiritual awakening comes and wake up stage comes. That is the stage one. Second, it's spontaneous. So for some people, what I have learned through my videos, what I have understood is that some people, some spiritual leaders or healers, I've heard saying that they were just sitting one day, they slept, when they woke up, they felt that they need to go through a spiritual awakening. They are going through something like this, and they don't want to suffer in this world, they don't want to face any pain in this world, and just sitting and just woke up, kind of a tick switch on. So basically when I heard this, I was literally laughing that this can be true, but this is true, that it's just a switch that divine ons in you and says, okay, you're already sleeping too much, now get up, it's time for you to wake up. So it's a wake up call from divine. Okay, so you wake up from a slumber, and this wake up stage goes for days or weeks. So usually the timeline differs for everyone. As I told you, it can be different timelines for different things, but whatever I have taken from the videos, the general timeline that we calculate for stage 1 is around few days, not few days exactly, couple of days and couple of weeks. Usually it falls between that timeline. So wake up happens. Wake up can be spontaneous, divine switches you on to work on yourself, or it can be because of some sort of huge event that happened in your life where your ego is completely shattered and you feel that your life is falling apart and it's a chaos in your life. So that can be the reason of this. Now moving to stage 2. Stage 2 is called as bliss. So first stage is wake up, second stage is bliss. So what do you mean by bliss? Now if we talk about bliss, bliss is we become alive. We feel connected. We feel connected with people, we feel connected with trees, we feel connected with flowers, we feel everything is dreamy, we feel everything is excitement, joy, connected to God, connected to divine. Everything is going in my life great, and I'm very happy. I'm so happy in my life, and I'm enjoying my life, and my heart is like dancing, and beautiful emotions come out, and you say that my life is amazing, it's a dreamy life, this is the best life I got, and this is the best moments of my life, I'm feeling alive. This is a bliss stage. So this bliss stage is guided, you are guided to that bliss stage, and you are connected to divine more. You start paying gratitude to God. You start connecting yourself with divine, and you start paying gratitude to God, and you suddenly start seeing synchronicities. You start seeing numbers: 777, 1111, which is a twin flame number, 333, 555, this is number of change. So basically you start seeing the angel numbers. You start connecting yourself with those numbers. These numbers might have appeared in front of you hundreds of times or thousands of times in the whole lifetime, but you never bothered about it. But suddenly when you get into a bliss stage, you start connecting yourself with angel numbers, start finding out more curiosity in terms of what it is, why I'm seeing 555 so much, why I'm seeing 1111 everywhere, on the watch, on the clock, on my phone. Everywhere I find these kind of triple numbers or phone numbers. Then I start connecting myself to more towards the angelic and the spiritual world, and more towards the 5D world, which we call as 5D. So 3D is basically, I'll explain you. 3D is basically, I'll make a separate video on that also. Now, so 3D is basically the physical world which we live in, which is more physical, which is more ego-based kind of a world. And 5D is the spiritual world. So it works on heart. Basically, it's a heart-based world, and it's a soulful world. So time frame from this bliss stage, because it's a bliss stage, is very happening. It just goes off like this. So it just, time flies and you feel okay, everything is a bliss. Oh my god, I'm in a bubble of love. Same like twin flame stage. I mentioned this kind of a stage in twin flame journey also, because spiritual awakening happens parallelly in a twin flame journey. So both are interconnected in a way. So just remember, both are interconnected and interlinked. So spiritual awakening happens in twin flame journey also, because sometimes, because you're twin flame, you met in the same lifetime, also spiritual awakening happens. This can also be one of the reasons which I have discussed in my previous readings, that apart from any car accident, any major event in your life, any major shake-up in your life, or any sort of spontaneity, apart from that, two twin flames, one soul in two bodies which meet on this planet in the same lifetime, that can also be the reason of your spiritual awakening for both these souls. Now, coming back to spiritual awakening. So bliss stage is usually, because it's a very fast going state, and it's a bliss stage, your energy system starts opening, your heart starts opening, you feel loved, you feel okay, I'm here to love, and I'm very happy, I'm very energetic and all those stuff. And then we understand more on spiritual gifts. Slowly what happens in the bliss stage, because we are very happy and we are very excited, slowly we understand that we have some sort of spiritual gift which we never imagined, or we never subconsciously we know, but we never gave attention to these kind of things. Okay, I'll give you an example of my personal experience. From my childhood, I always used to dance. Dance was my passion, and because I belong to a family which is a very conservative family, and I was not allowed to go to dance classes and all those stuff. So that was my passion. I used to dance behind the closed doors, right? That was in my subconscious. I knew I have a passion for dance, but I never knew I have so much of passion of dance that like, yes, I knew I loved dancing in my childhood. I remember still that I used to close the rooms and dance on different music, and I used to love, I love doing that, right? Then I never in all these years, I never took it as a career, or I never bring out as a passion or something like that. Once I get into spiritual awakening, I suddenly felt that I should start making videos. I don't know why. And some of my friends introduced me to TikTok, and they started making TikToks, and I was behind the scenes always. I was doing something, some movements or something, because I was very shy, frankly speaking, initially when I started making videos, and I was very shy to dance in front of video and just post those videos randomly. Slowly I don't know how, but I just opened up myself, and I suddenly felt, oh my god, this is literally my passion. My dance gives me so much of happiness that it covers everything, almost everything apart from that. So when I dance, I forget everything. When I make videos, I forget everything. So music and dance has always been my passion, but I never took it so seriously, or never, I think, I don't know, but suddenly, so these kind of things, you never explored your passions. Spiritual gifts, let me talk about spiritual gifts of mine also. My my grandparents have been very spiritual. I belong to a very spiritual family, but I never knew that I have some sort of spiritual gifts, which I explored after, not after exactly, during my spiritual awakening journey. First is intuition. I always felt that my intuition is very strong. I used to say my intuition is very strong. Whatever I feel, it always happens sooner or later. So my intuitions have always been very strong, but I never gave much attention to it because I thought, okay, everybody might be having this kind of intuition, so why should I be so uh, this thing? But after, during my spiritual awakening process, I understand that I have this spiritual gift of a very strong intuition. I can understand energies, I can sense energies, but the only issue is that I never trusted my intuition. I never gave my intuition a chance to work over my mind. So I never listened to my intuition. But as soon as I get into this spiritual awakening process, I started listening to my intuition. I started listening to, I started sensing the energies more because I was opening my energy system. So basically, when we open our energy system, when we open our chakras slowly, we'll start understanding more, and we feel very deeply intuitive because of spiritual awakening process. It's a very common effect of spiritual awakening process when you get into a very deep intuitive kind of feeling, because you start opening your heart chakras, you different chakras, sacred chakras, then your third eye, so your intuition becomes very strong slowly. So that's how it works in the bliss stage. So bliss stage gives you a taste of everything slowly, like everything is fine, it's very joyous and it's very happy, and yes, you are seeing the synchronicities, I'm so sorry, and sorry for the twisted tongue. And slowly you start understanding angel numbers, slowly you start digging into it, you start getting more intuitive, you start opening your energy system slowly, and this is happening behind the scenes. You will not understand it slowly. Like with me, when it was happening, my energy system was opening, my chakras, everything was opening. I was not aware of this. I was like slowly I was sailing through it, and I was understanding what's happening with me. So because bliss stage usually don't give you any sort of pressure. Now comes the tough part. Bliss stage usually ends again in couple of days or couple of weeks. So basically the timelines varies from different people to different this thing. Now coming to stage 3, which is a very tough, I think the toughest stage in spiritual journey, which is dark night of the soul, which we call it as great purge also. So purging, you might have heard of it. So basically what happens in dark night is all the things that you need to release, all the things that you need to heal from this lifetime or from past lifetimes, that comes to the surface suddenly. Suppose any childhood traumas you have faced, you might have faced, just for an example, you might have faced a lot of issues with your parental uh, or your grandparents, or there's a lack of love or lack of attention in your childhood, and these kind of traumas you might have faced, any sort of these kind of traumas or any other traumas which you have faced in your childhood, or any lack of stability, lack of financial stability you felt in your childhood. So any sort of, I'm just giving examples which you have been carrying along with you, and be it you know or you don't know, be it consciously or subconsciously, be it intentionally or unintentionally, these things are affecting your actions and your future and your present. So that's how, when the stage 3 starts, the dark night, the great purge, the purpose of great purge is to purge all those energies. So all those past traumas, all those ego, all those attitude, all those things that you have start coming on the surface, which I have explained in my twin flame video also. Same thing happens in twin flames also. Your traumas and all those stuff come on the surface, and you slowly start feeling anxiety. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Why the hell I am feeling so much I have never faced all these things about myself. I never realized all these things about myself. I never felt so much guilty about myself, about my past actions. Why I'm feeling so? You're not feeling anything because anything is happening to you, or you are going mad, or you're going sick, or something like that. It's just because you're simply going through a dark night of the soul. So, dark night of the soul, which is a great birth stage, anything that needs to be released from this lifetime or past lifetime, you have to release it. So, you have to clean your soul. Basically, you have to clear your soul. So, dark night of the soul is also called as dark night of the ego. So, basically, why we are always mentioning ego in terms of, because I mentioned in a past video also that ego is mind. So whenever you take any actions or any decisions from your mind, it's your ego which is dominating you. And when you take decisions from your heart, it's your soul and heart which is connected. So you take the correct decisions in your life. So basically, dark night of the ego is purging your ego, purging your mind, purging the decisions that you take from your mind. So helping you to release all sort of things that your mind is telling and capturing you. So basically, after this purging stage, you will start feeling your heart more, your heart will open. You will start taking decisions from your heart rather than from your ego, because you have already purged your ego. So this is not as easy as I'm saying it. It's the toughest stage of spiritual awakening, and it's very, very tough to go through, because you go through depression, you go through despair, you go through anxiety, you feel like you're sinking, you are dying, there is nobody to help you out. Exactly, sinking is the right word, because that's what I felt. Okay, so this is a deep secret which I'm telling you. When I was going through my dark night of the ego or dark night of the soul, I felt I'm sinking. Everything is falling apart just beside me. The fact is, nothing was happening in my life. Everything was going good. But only I was the person who was feeling anxiety, who was feeling that something is happening, I'm dying, I'm sick, why I'm feeling tired, why I'm feeling depressed, what's happening to me, why I'm feeling always that I'm sinking, I'm losing everything. That was inside, that was going inside me. Nothing was happening outside. External environment was perfectly fine. It was internal struggle that I was facing. So this is the toughest thing to go. You always feel that you're sinking, you're losing everything, you're dying. And that's the correct thing. You are dying. But you are dying your old self. You are dying your old self. So basically, you're feeling that sinking feeling and you're feeling that dying feeling. That's just because you are releasing your old self and you are going through a rebirth process. So I know it sounds crazy. Sorry if it sounds crazy to you, but I know those who are watching this video with a specific purpose and those who know what I'm talking about. Basically, you go through a death and a rebirth process. So your old self is dying, your ego self is dying, and you are releasing everything from your past, your genetics, your biological stuff, your energy, everything is changing inside you. So imagine you came with the energy system on planet, on earth, and then suddenly in 40 years or 30 years or 35 years, I'm not too sure what age you go through a spiritual awakening process, but whenever this happens, suddenly you start feeling everything is shaking, your energy system is shaking, your genetics are changing, everything around you is seeming like everything is falling apart, you're losing everything. So this is just a temporary phase, because you're losing. Why you're feeling this? Okay, I'll tell you my experience. Why I felt this is because I was always a person who has always followed mind. I always overthink. So overthinking is a big issue, because we work on egos. Our mind work on egos. So for me, it's very difficult to switch off my mind and move to a heart space. So for me, getting into dark night of ego or dark night of soul or great purging, it was hell experience for me. And I'm sure that whosoever goes through this, it's a tough experience. It's not easy to do it. So basically, you have almost a feeling like you're dying. Some people I have heard online, a lot of people saying that we felt that our family took us to the hospital. They felt that we are very sick, because you get depressed. You don't feel like talking to others. You isolate yourself. You get into a depression feeling. You feel, oh, something is depressing me. Either my relations, either my finances, something, I'm feeling depressed. You're not feeling depressed. You're not feeling anxiety because something is happening to you. This is just you're shedding your old self. You are learning how to move from your ego self to heart, from your mind to your heart. And it's a very tough journey, I'm telling you. Basically, you completely change after this stage. You won't be able to recognize yourself. So that's how. Rebirth process is the most difficult stage, as I said. And once you stand in the mirror after this whole process, you will not recognize yourself. I guarantee you that. You will never recognize yourself with this is me and what I was in past and what I have become now. In fact, people around you also will start noticing. Oh my God. They will not start noticing. Okay, one thing I'll also tell you. They will not only start noticing about you, they won't believe you. Because you used to behave in an egocentric way. You used to behave in a way which was very, very, just for example, dominating. You used to behave in a way which is very, very common to you. They might have seen you behaving this way 20 years, 25 years. Now suddenly you change your behavior. Suddenly your words are changed. Suddenly your intentions are changed. Suddenly you are changed. Your energy system is changed. People get shocked. They believe, okay, you are pretending. Maybe you are changed for some time. You are pretending something. Something has happened. No, they are not pretending. The people who have gone through spiritual awakening or going through spiritual awakening, they are not pretending. They are really changed because they have worked on themselves. The divine have pushed them to work on themselves. Go and work on yourself and shed your ego self and just listen to your heart. That's how it works. Okay, so this is the toughest stage and the difficult stage, which is stage 3, dark night of the soul. Now comes the stage 4. So after you become a different person, your energy system changes and your genetics change and everything changes. You become a different person, and then comes stage 4. So where everything stops. You feel relaxed. Not relaxed exactly, you feel stuck. No man's land. I don't belong here. Okay, why we don't belong here? Anyways, we were having a feeling right from the starting we don't belong here. That's how spiritual awakening started in us. But suddenly in the void stage, because we have purged our old energy, right? We have purged our old energy and now we are new self. So what we are doing is we are hanging between old self and new self. Now my old self was egocentric. I was a complete 3D person, like physical other people, like physical 3D person. Old self. I'm not saying the physical 3D person are bad. I'm not saying in any way this. I'm saying that there is a difference because you have moved from an egocentric self to a heart self. It's a new self for you. So you are hanging between in this two. Now, because you have not completely moved to this energy and you can't go back to your old self also, you're hanging in between. Now, what happens in the void stage? You feel lost. You feel universe is closing all the doors on your face. You are not getting any guidance. Initially when you were in bliss stage, when you were in wake up stage, every time you felt that you're guided. God is telling you to go through spiritual awakening. God is making you happy, making you joyous, making you excited through the bliss stage, right? Wake up also God has given you. Wake up call, okay, get up and go through a spiritual awakening. But suddenly in void stage, what happens? In dark night of the souls, God is telling you to release your, or divine is telling you to release your old self. So you always feel guided. You always feel that someone is guiding you or pushing you towards this. But in the void stage, what happens? Suddenly you feel disconnect. You feel disconnect with the world. You feel you are lost in this universe. You feel that God has closed all the doors on you. Nothing is happening as per what you want. No guidance you are getting. Suddenly you will start feeling disconnected. Suddenly you stop. For me, for some time, I don't know which, I'm confused which state I'm going through. I don't know. I don't want to know also. I'm just going through it. I'm sailing through it. But yes, I'm working on myself. And I will work on myself till my last breath. That's what I have decided. Okay, just give me a minute. I think my camera is not clean. Just give me a minute. I always do that. Now it's better. Okay, so it's a 50 minutes video I already did. Now I realize my camera is not clean as usual. Okay, so coming back to void stage, we feel that okay, we are in between our old self and our new self, confused, what to do, what to do, what to do. Now, it is a resting stage, so no need to get panic, no need to feel anxiety. For me, even I felt that why I suddenly feel disconnected with God, why I feel that nothing is happening in my life. It's kind of a stuck energy, like I'm stuck somewhere, all doors are closing, whichever door I knock, I'm feeling closed, this kind of feeling you get, right? So this is because God is telling you, divine is telling you to rest, because you have come through a dark night of the soul, you have worked on yourself, you have shed your old ego self, you need to heal, you need to rest. Then later on you come into a butterfly stage, which is a transformation stage we call. So butterfly is basically signifies transformation. So you are transformed now. So no more forcing things in this stage. Just take a great rest, because you have come through a lot. You have worked on yourself a lot, and you have literally gone through a lot of things. So basically, God is telling you to just relax. If you feel disconnected from divine, fine. If you feel that nothing is happening in your life, fine. If you feel all doors are closing in you, fine. Just relax. Don't be in anxiety or panic mode. This stage works usually for some months. This is the average timeline. So it differs from person to person's journey. So once you know that you are in a void stage, you feel deep peace. If you don't allow your anxieties to come over and capture you, you'll feel a deep peace. You'll feel very peaceful energy, because you have worked on yourself, and you feel that you are a new person now, and you are slowly adjusting to what it is, and slowly absorbing the things. So basically, you have purged your old self, you are into a new self. There will be a new start with the new self. So slowly you will start feeling that you are standing in your power, and you're standing slowly on your own 2 feet. This is your new self. Now your old self, which was ego based, mind centric, taking decisions from your mind, all those is past. Now you are in an energy which is a completely new self, which is following heart, listening to heart. So this is the new self after the dark night of the souls. The void comes, which is a resting period, which is for few months. You just rest, depending upon what sort of journey you are, whose journey it is. Timelines may vary, so please don't take the timelines, okay, you said months, it's happening from years. No, usually it's from months to years, depending upon what sort of journey you are. Next stage is after void is groundness. Now groundness is a very beautiful stage where you feel more grounded. Now what do you mean by grounded? Just example, like a tree which grows in the sky and going to the top, and the more your roots are grounded, the more the tree is growing and stronger. And yes, so it's a very beautiful stage in terms of spirituality. It feels like, so grounded energy means, when you feel grounded, that means you are tightening your roots and you're growing from here. You're tightening your roots, you're growing from here. So this is groundedness. So groundedness basically makes you feel like you are an adult. You are a grown up suddenly. It feels like you are matured. Until now you were a kid, you're behaving like a kid. I am feeling anxiety, I am feeling depressed, nothing is happening good in my life, divine has taken everything, closed all the doors on my face and all those stuff. But groundedness is a stage after void, after resting, after getting into the peace. You're finally feeling like you're more grounded in terms of your decisions, more grounded, grown up, adult, mature, that kind of a feeling you get. So you feel whatever you have been doing in the past was a very immature energy, and now you are a grown up. So that's called groundedness stage. So basically, the bliss stage that we had discussed, bliss stage is a teenage stage. Why teenage stage? You are immature in the bliss stage. You are feeling dream bubble, romance, love, enjoyment, whatever it is. I'm just giving an example. It can be a romantic feeling if it's involving a twin flame journey. If not, if it's because of any spontaneous reason or something like that, then it may feel very exciting. You feel connected to nature, to divine, new things you are learning, lot of curiosity, very teenage kind of an energy. But stage 5 is a groundedness, which is a very matured and grown up energy. So we become very spiritually matured, emotionally grown and matured. We learn our spiritual lessons, and we have already learned our spiritual lessons as we have purged our shadow side. Now we have learned how to bring these lessons into our daily lives, because groundedness help us to become more grown and mature, and whatever lessons we have learned from our purging and from our spiritual journey, we'll slowly start incorporating those lessons in our daily life. So we are completely ready now to move to regular civilization, and we stop running from people. Usually what happens in spiritual awakening, when you are going through a dark night of the soul, you start isolating yourself, you start running from people, because people don't understand what you're going through. They always ask why you're in anxiety, why you look depressed, because they don't understand what you're going through, right? So we return to a regular civilization stage in groundedness. We stop running from people. If we feel that somebody is throwing on us a very heavy, dense or negative energy, initially, before the spiritual awakening process, or maybe during the spiritual awakening process, when we were in the early stage of spiritual awakening process, when we used to find any negative energy toward us, or in a very general way, I'll just give you an example. In regular 3D life, when we find somebody with a very heavy energy or dense energy, and we feel they have very negative energy towards us, we try to repel or we try to run away from that energy. But after doing the spiritual awakening process, in the groundedness state especially, we are grown up, we are matured enough to handle those kind of energies. So because our roots are very deep and tight, and we have learned how to survive through this, we stop running away from people, and we take their negative energies, we take their dense energies, and we try to deal with it. Because our energy systems become so powerful, we become so magnetic, we become a very powerful manifester also. That also happens in the groundedness stage. So basically, our energy system becomes so powerful that whatever energy comes in, we are ready to handle those energies in a very good way, and we sometimes convert those energies into positive energies as well, or the energies we basically we know how to play with those energies now. We are matured enough to understand how to play with that energy. If anything negative coming towards us, we know how to handle those energies. So it's very difficult for me to explain, but I know what exactly I mean, because I know this is very easy process for those who are in groundedness stage. They know how to handle the energies. They just put in their spiritual lessons, whatever they have learned, and they apply it to their regular life. That's how they do it. The person who is in groundedness stage, in a matured energy, in a grown up energy, they become very, very magnetic. People think, what has happened to him, what has happened to her, why he's looking so magnetic, so handsome, so beautiful, what is happening? They are doing multiple things, lot of energy. This is because their energy system is completely changed. They are a new person now, and they become a powerful manifester also. Now, what do you mean by a powerful manifester? Because their energy system is completely changed, they know how to deal with the energies, they can manifest anything in their life. So they become a very, very powerful manifester. So that's the part of groundedness also. Now, slowly, when you are in matured and this energy, slowly you know how to handle things, how to handle energies, you move to slowly start coming back to feeling of bliss, connecting with the God, connecting with the divine, connecting with different people. So basically you are coming back to the bliss stage. But there is a difference. In the bliss stage, when we were there, we were in immature energy, we were not grounded, we were dreaming in the sky. Oh my God, like today I'm just flying in the sky high, I'm enjoying this energy, I'm just not thinking about anything, I'm just flying, enjoying this kind of energy. But in groundedness stage, you enjoy the same bliss in a matured way. So that's the only difference. So basically, it's a very grounded energy. Connections will feel more real to you. Any connections, if we are talking about twin flame connection, yes, but if we are not talking about twin flame connection, sorry, if we are going through any other connections in our life, they will feel more real. We can understand the authenticity, and we don't fall for false connections, because we are grounded enough, matured enough to understand the energies, and our heart opens more. So this is all related to heart. Okay, I'll come back to the tips, how we go through it, and then I'll discuss how it works from heart. So my video is already 60 minutes. I'm really worried how to create more. Okay. Anyways, so coming back to groundedness stage, yes, we get into a bliss stage again, but with a matured energy. So the last, okay, the time frame of this is usually years. Groundedness takes time, so it's usually move from 1 to 2 years, or it can be more also, depending upon who is in the journey and what sort of journey you're going through. Again, the sixth stage comes with the purpose of life and mission. So when you have learned all your lessons, when you have gone through the whole journey, this is a heroic journey you have gone through. The way I have explained it in 1 hour, it's not easy. It's not at all easy. It's a very, 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 very tough journey. And you have to go through a lot to change yourself. And you have no options. You cannot say, no, 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 I don't want to go through spiritual awakening. No. Who you will tell to? Nobody has pushed you into it. Divine has pushed you, divine will only take out. There is no option of backing out here. This is not opted by you. If somebody comes and tell you, come out of the spiritual awakening, you're not supposed to do it if you're not handle it. If you're not able to handle it, sorry, there is no option for it. Once you're into it, when divine has decided to push you into it, you have to go through it. There is no other option apart from sailing through it. Be it you sail with a smile, or be it you sail with anxiety. So it's better to sail with a smile. Now, coming to the purpose and mission of life is, there is a deep sense of purge. Your energy systems are changed. You are a new self. You are more grounded. You are more powerful. You have learned your lessons. But nobody knows what your mission is. So what happens? I'll give you a personal example. My example. Okay, I'm giving you my example so that you can relate more. You slowly start walking to a path which is completely unknown to you. So coming back to me, I have no clue. I have never ever in my life heard of tarot reading. I have always heard of astrology. I have always heard of zodiac signs. I knew I am a Libran, and I never knew what tarot reading is. I never knew what spirituality. It's spiritual, I know what it is, but I never knew what spirituality in a different form is. And I was not aware if I am on a mission or something, but suddenly I start walking slowly towards my mission. I don't know what my mission is yet. I don't know what path I have to follow. I'm just following my heart. Truly, I'm just following the intuition that I'm getting every day in my life. That's what I have learned in my spiritual lesson. That's what I'm following. I'm following every single day my heart. Whatever my intuition says I have to do, whatever my heart says I have to do. In fact, all my tarot readings, all my spiritual lesson readings, whatever I'm doing on videos, I'm following my heart. Whatever, today also when I was spiritual awakening, I was about to make a video, I was very clear that I have to finish this video today. That's what my intuition told me, and I follow it, actually. So there is nothing much to think about. There is nothing to think about, actually. If you feel, go ahead and do it. That's your path. Nobody knows what your mission is. Nobody knows where you end and what's your great purpose in this lifetime, especially for those who are going through a spiritual awakening. So basically, you have to follow your intuition. You have to follow your heart. Listen to your heart. Obviously, when you are spiritually awakened, you can only listen to your heart. Your mind can never take over your heart, right? So always follow your intuition. That's how it works, and you will reach to your soul mission or soul purpose. Divine will help you to slowly move towards that. So it's slowly taking steps towards it. ऐसा नहीं है कि when you start sorry, I am so used to speaking Hindi that my Hindi comes in between the videos. I'm so sorry. Okay, so basically, purpose of life or mission is not disclosed to any of those who are going through spiritual awakening. Slowly, you will start moving towards it and taking one step each at a time, following your intuition, following your heart, and you will reach where you are supposed to reach. So divine is not going to come and tell you. You will slowly reach your path. So everybody has a different mission. Everybody has a different path. Even I don't know where I'm walking towards, but I'm just following my intuition, right? So it's about one step at a time, discovering yourself every day. That's how it works. So these are the 6 stages which I told you uh, for the spiritual awakening, and hopefully I'm able to explain the stages in the simplest form where I can giving my own examples to it. Now coming to some tips which help you through this, which I have always told in my videos, not clearly, but yes, I always tell in my videos that follow your heart, follow your intuition. Just don't allow your mind to dominate your heart. Learn how to silence your mind. Learn how to silence your ego. All these things I always talk, but I never explain in a. I always tell in a very brief way in my tarot readings. So there are 3 tips which I want to give you all who are going through spiritual awakening to sail through it. First of all, stop resisting. Don't say, oh my god, what's happening to me? I'm tired of this process. Why the hell I am going through a spiritual awakening? Why I am going through all this? Why other people are not going through this? Why only I have to purge everything in myself? Why I have to leave my ego and work on myself? There is no point of showing anxiety, resistance. Okay, if you show resistance, I'll give you an example, a simple example. What will happen? Simply surrender. Suppose, give an example, you are a child and your mother is dragging you through the road towards something, towards a shop, say, okay, and you don't want to go. Mother is dragging slowly, so you are just dragging your feet slowly towards, no, I don't want to go, no, I don't want to go. What will happen? Anyway, slowly dragging, you will reach to the shop. Your mother is going to take you there, right? What will happen? You will waste more your energy, and then it will take much longer than what you are expected to do. So this is a simple example. You are dragging your feet towards your spiritual awakening. You are resisting to accept what is your shadow side and dark side. You are resisting to work on yourself. You are resisting to go inside you and understand what you need to work on. Resisting can only delay the process. It cannot stop the process. Once you are in this, you have to go through it. So better not to resist, better not to feel anxiety. Why it's me? Why it's me? Why I'm going through spiritual awakening? Why not others are going? Why I can't live a normal life? Why I have to work on my soul? Why I have to work on my higher self? If you do this, your soul will need more energy to pull you. Don't trouble your soul to pull your body into it, to pull yourself into it. Soul is powerful than your ego. I think everybody knows that. If don't know, I'll tell you. Soul is powerful than your ego. Your soul always will win. Your heart will always win over your ego, over your mind. Be it not today. If you are avoiding it, okay. I am not listening to my heart. I am listening to my mind. Okay, fine. Don't listen to your heart. What will happen? In next couple of days, couple of months, you have to listen to your heart. You are just delaying the process, nothing else. And in that delaying, you are giving pain to yourself. Nothing else is happening. That's a very clear cut statement. If you are not following your heart, if you are tricking yourself with your mind, oh, I am going to listen to my mind. My mind is saying, my ego is saying, I should do this. I am doing that. Do it. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. Nobody can stop you, in fact. But you will have to follow your heart at some point of time. And you just delayed the process for 3 months or 4 months, and you suffered from pain, you suffered from guilty, you suffered from everything which you don't want to go through, and then finally you listen to your heart. What's the point? If you have to listen to your heart at the end of the day, to listen it on the very first day. Right? So don't resist. Surrender. Surrender yourself to whatever your intuition is saying. Surrender yourself to your shadow side. Surrender yourself to work on yourself, on your shadow sides, on your aspects which you need to work on. And stop listening to your ego. Stop listening to your mind. Listen to your heart and your intuition. Next point, again coming to this, work with your heart. Because your heart is awakened in the spiritual awakening process, you learn to work with your intuition. Heart is the central chakra, and it's a great healer also. Heart is the driving seat of your soul, you know that, right? So you have to listen to your higher self. You have to listen to your soul. You have to listen to your intuition. Everything runs through heart, and everything runs when you are healed, and your healing comes from your heart. Work with your heart, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Don't let your mind take over. Okay, I'll give you a pro tip on that also, how to quiet your mind, right? This is the next point which I'm going to talk about is, okay, I'll give you one more thing. Sorry, I'm just incorporating my experiences into it. Whenever I feel that my mind is or whenever you feel that your mind is taking over your heart and you are unable to listen to your heart, right? Place hands on your heart, listen to your heartbeat for some time, or try meditate and try listening to your heart or your heartbeat, or meditate and try to feel a light in your heart. This happens, if those who meditate might be knowing what I'm trying to say. So this is a very easy process. Place your hands on the heart, listen to your heartbeat, try to listen to your intuition and heart when you're confused what to do, because your mind always tricks you but heart never. The third tip is quiet your mind. Meditate. Always when you feel stuck, meditate. Now for me, whenever my mind go through hundreds of thoughts, right, which are negative, I feel it's waste of time. Why I'm thinking this is not going to happen in my life anyways. I don't know why these kind of thoughts are coming to me. What I do is I switch on my phone, I make a Insta reel, I make a TikTok video. Whenever my mind starts processing 1,000 thoughts, which I know it's not going to happen in my life, it's just negativity I'm just putting into myself. My thoughts are just doing this to me, playing with me. I just start making videos. This is what I do because that's my passion. I love to do that, and completely feel distracted from my negative thoughts to a completely different zone, which is my passion, which is my happiness. So this is a very workable solution. Okay, so whatever your passion is, if your passion is reading, suppose, so do that, try that. If you feel your mind is going to hundreds of thoughts, thousand with the speed of 1,000 thoughts in 1 second, negative, this will happen bad, then this will happen, then this will happen, then this will happen, and you know this is not going to happen. Nothing has happened in your life yet, and still you're just your thought processing. Right away stop, start reading book, concentrate yourself, focus yourself into that. This is workable. You can do that anytime to quiet your mind. Detach from your mind. How to detach from your mind? Your mind is very tricky. It creates chaos. It creates all sort of thoughts, different thoughts. So you can do one more thing. Fear-based thoughts. Very important to tell. Fear-based thoughts, negative thoughts. Everything will happen bad in your life. That's what, every time you sit, you feel, oh, my life is distorted, thoughts are distorted, negative thoughts, fear-based thoughts, this will happen, that will happen. How will you avoid that? Just to avoid that, one more thing you can do. Whenever these thoughts come in your mind, just let them pass by like a cloud. Always remember, your thoughts are not you. Okay, I have learned this. It needs a lot of practice. I'm telling you, it needs a lot of practice to come to a point. Even I'm still learning. I have not learned it yet. I'm still learning. I'm in a learning process. I cautiously try to tell myself that my thoughts are not me. My thoughts are different, and I am different. So thoughts, when something come to your thought, right? Let it pass by. Okay, this is a thought. Suppose, example, my thought is I'm going to get failed in my exam because I have not studied properly. Just an example. So that thought is coming to my mind. My exam, I will fail in my exam, then I will not be able to complete my degree. I will not get a good job in future. No money. My parents will kick me out of the house. All these kind of thoughts are coming. It's increasingly negative, fear-based, negative. Let them pass by. Just think it's a cloud, and this thought is in a cloud and it's passing by from you. Let it pass by. Let it pass by completely and clean up your mind. Then, okay, second thought comes. Let the cloud. Don't react to your thoughts. Don't get anxiety. Don't get excited to take an action on it. Meditate. Meditation is the best solution. And if you can't meditate, if you're not doing any sort of meditation, try to do these things which I'm telling you. It always works. Again, while meditating also, if you want to feel your heartbeat, keep a hand on your heart. Try to listen to your heartbeat. Try to listen to your intuition. Thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not you. Please be consciously aware of this. Even I every day tell myself, whenever I feel negative, I'm also a human being. I also feel the same way. A lot of negative thoughts coming to my mind every day. Oh, this has happened, this has happened, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. Okay. What I'll do is, basically when negative thought comes to me, I told you I just switch on to something which I like. My passion I follow. Whatever I like to do, I start doing that. So I distract myself. I completely put my focus off it. Second thing you can do is, you can just think that, not think exactly, your thoughts are not you, right? So just focus on your thoughts. Don't avoid them. Just understand, okay, let them pass by. Don't react on it. It will not come in a day. Don't try to do that in a day. Okay, what she's talking, I cannot do this. I know what I'm talking is not a one day thing. You have to consciously make an effort to silence your mind. I can just give you tips what I found workable on myself. So there are different things that will work on you to distract you from your thoughts. So just try to distract you from your thoughts. Try to distract yourself from fear-based negative thoughts. Be it meditation, be it following your passion, be it just randomly passing off the thoughts, understanding that your thoughts are not you. They are just to manipulate you. They are just to make you confused, anxiety and depressed and all those stuff. Okay? So your thoughts create maximum issues. In fact, I think 99% issues in your life. Okay, so there is nothing like that around you in an external environment. Still, your thoughts will create the whole scene, the whole picture. If I do this, I will do that, I will do this. Suppose I'll give you an example. If you want to propose a girl, okay, you think, okay, tomorrow I go and propose the girl, she will slap me, kick me out of the place, or she will just say no. And what I'll do, I'll be alone for whole of rest of my life. I'll not find anyone, any other girl who is matching to me. She is the perfect match. Oh, you go to the extent where you imagine your old age also without that girl, right? So how your life would be? Your thoughts are taking you to all the fear-based negative things that are happening, and in reality, if you follow heart and intuition, nothing will happen like this. There is a high possibility. So don't concentrate on your thoughts and your ego, because your thoughts are generated by your ego self. I have always told in my video, follow your heart, follow your intuition, keep smiling, because the thoughts that are generated in your mind are because of your ego. Your ego self create those thoughts. All those fears are in your mind. They are not generated from your heart and soul. And until unless you're connected to your heart, you listen to your heart, you will never be able to connect to your soul. And until you are connected to your soul, you will not be able to connect to divine. So this is all interlinked. So please, it's a very simple process. 5 minutes daily meditate, 5 minutes practice you have to do every day. Just try to focus on your heart, focus on your feelings, focus on what is your intuition telling you to do, and do that. Don't listen to your minds. Okay, so this is the brief introduction about spiritual awakening. I try to incorporate as many tips, including my own personal experience, into this video. So yes, it's a very complicated process. Yes, I'm going through it. Yes, I know many other people are going through it who might not be knowing they're going through it. But it's a very, very complicated thing. And it's a continuously learning process. It's not easy to reach your mission or to reach your path. You have to continuously work on yourself. That's what I have realized. After the dark night of the soul, groundedness and everything also, still you have to keep on working on something or the other on yourself, which you feel that this is Because even I sometimes find myself into the thoughts which I'm not supposed to go into. But again, because we are in a 3D world, we are living in this kind of a society where we are, I don't know, we automatically switch to a mode where we use our minds and thoughts, which we are not supposed to, ideally. So spiritual awakening is a huge learning process, giving a rebirth to you. It's a beautiful process, it's a beautiful journey, but it's a tough one. So nothing beautiful comes easily. That's what I believe in. And those who are going through spiritual awakening, please refer to lots of online videos which are available online. Sail through your journey with the help of those, otherwise it would be very difficult for you, because sometimes the journey for light workers and healers are very, very tough. And I have heard some people, it took years for them to come out of the depression state or anxiety state. So don't get into that thing. Just try to surrender. That's what I told. Surrender yourself. Stop fighting with it. Stop just forcing yourself to go against it. Okay, forcing yourself to go against your heart and your intuition will always bring you back there only. You have just wasted your time and your energy, nothing else, and you have given pain to yourself. Finally, you will follow what your heart says. Be it any decision in your life. If you follow your mind, you will come back to square one again, and it will give nothing much. So that's what my advice is, for especially for those who are on spiritual awakening journey. I'm going to make multiple videos. I have a lot of things to jot down in this journey, which I have not yet discussed about. So this is just an introduction. What is spiritual awakening? What are the stages of spiritual awakening? How the spiritual awakening happens, if it's happening to you. And there are some tips like surrender, like detach yourself from your mind, just quiet your mind, try to focus on your heart and intuition. These are small tips which will help you to sail slowly and nicely through it with a smile on your face. Okay, so take care. Hopefully it's 22 minutes video. I'm not too sure how I'm going to upload this video, and it's already late night. So thank you so much. As promised, I am here with this video, and I hope this video helps as many people as possible. And I hope I am able to explain. I have jotted down the points so that I should not forget anything. So I hope I am able to help as many people as possible and bring light into the universe. And yes, this is a beautiful process. Enjoy this journey. Whatever journey you are in, be it a twin flame journey, be it a spiritual awakening journey, be it both, just enjoy the journey. Go with the flow. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Keep smiling. Good night. Take care, and do like my Insta page. Okay, do like my Insta page, soul_therapy by Pash. So I will keep posting a lot of videos, a lot of new things. So 3D, 5D, self-love, I have a lot of concepts to discuss. So I'll keep on making videos. I'll keep on including or incorporating my own personal experiences into it. So I'm still learning. I'm not a perfect teacher. I'm not here teaching anyone. I'm just using my own experiences and trying to help others. Thank you so much. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.